Hello and welcome to Lesson 8. Part 1 is about enhancing our vocabulary. להגדיל ולחזק את אוצר המילים שלנו. In this lesson, we're going to focus on the importance of vocabulary and ways to enhance it. Remember that without any high-level words, you'll get only 6 out of the 8 points in the vocabulary category of the essay. Look at this typical student opening sentence. A lot of people think that the social media is a good thing, but I think it's bad. There's nothing wrong with this sentence, except for the fact that the level of the writing is very low. What do you think, Itai? How can we improve it?
Maybe we can replace some of the words with better, higher level words. But where can I look for better words?
Have you heard of a special dictionary called Thesaurus? מילון למילים נרדפות. It provides you with other options for every word you can think of. Of course, you have to be careful because words have slightly different meanings. This is something you should do while practicing for the Model G exam, but not during the exam. That's why it's important to enhance your vocabulary and come up with good optional words for the regular words you're used to writing. For example, as a rule of thumb, I forbid you to use the adjectives good and bad in your essay. There are many better options. Instead of good, you can say beneficial, desirable, or advantageous. Instead of bad, you can say detrimental, unfavorable, or undesirable. Finally, let's replace the simple word think with assume, consider, deeply believe, strongly feel. Would you choose from the options that I've given you and write an amended sentence? Take a minute to think about it while watching the calming waves of the sea. Well, Itai, show me your improved sentence.
Many people believe that social media is beneficial, but I think it's actually detrimental.
I made you a short list of useful high-level words which you can find with the materials of the course.
How do you recommend to study it?
The best and most efficient way to study is 15 minutes every day. It's much better than 5 hours once a week. So every day take this list and go over a section of it. At the end of the week, test yourself or ask someone to test you on the words. In addition, writing sentences with the words will help you to remember them. For example, let's take circumstances, nesibot. It's a very useful word which you can use in almost any topic. You can talk about the circumstances of anything, from a political debate to a personal decision. For example, the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of the girl are still under investigation. Consequences, תוצאות, השלכות, is another very useful word. For example, you should know there will be grave consequences to any decision you make today. One more word we should look at is phenomena, תופעה. It's also a general word that you can use for any subject. For example, the phenomena of discrimination, אפליה, against women in workplaces is Now Itai, go to the useful high-level vocabulary list and find me a strong adjective to express your opinion of this phenomena. I'll give you 30 seconds. Well, Itai, did you find one?
Yes, reprehensible.
Great! Let's read the sentence again with our improved vocabulary. The phenomena of discrimination against women in workplaces is reprehensible. Wonderful. Part 2 of our lesson deals with frequently confused words and common mistakes. One of the greatest difficulties of Module G lies in the fact that you pay dearly for your grammatical mistakes. In the open questions of the unseen, each mistake costs you 2 to 3 points. Sometimes the mistake looks so tiny that you don't understand what you lost all those points for. But it's a grammar mistake. No matter how small it is, it will cost you these 2 points. It's different in the essay because you have a total of 16 points for language. So every 2 or 3 mistakes, depending on the severity, cost you a point. Let's take a look at some of the most common mistakes that students make so you can try to avoid them. 1. There is, there are. The English requires a subject, and there is a subject. Do not use have. For example, there are many beautiful flowers. There is also a tall tree in the middle of the garden. 2. Back is an adjective. You go back home. You do not back home. 3. There, שלהם, like it's their school. There, they are. For example, they are Americans. Or there. For example, the book is over there on the table. 4. It's. It's זה מילת שייכות. של זה, גוף שלישי יחיד. For example, this is my cat. Its tail is long and furry. להבדיל מ it's, it is. For example, it is my cat. 5. To accept, לקבל. For example, you have to accept the fact that you lost the game. להבדיל מ except for. For example, I'm a vegetarian. I eat everything except for meat. Number 6. To affect. This is the verb, להשפיע. For example, he has affected my life dramatically. להבדיל מ effect. That's a noun, השפעה או תוצאה. For example, this is the effect of your actions. 7. Then, עם E, זה מילת זמן, as. For example, let's go to the cinema and then go to a restaurant. להבדיל מ then, עם A, שזאת מילת יחס שמשתמשים בה בהשוואות, כמו יותר מ, פחות מ. For example, this book is much more interesting than the previous book I read. 8. To be allowed to do something. כשיש לך רשות לעשות משהו. For example, you're not allowed to go out during the lesson. להבדיל מ to talk out loud, שפירושו פשוט בקול רם. For example, this is a concert. You mustn't talk out loud here. 9. Bare, חשוף או לחשוף. For example, I like to feel the sand with my bare feet. ברגליים חשופות. להבדיל מ bear. לשאת או לסבול. For example, I can't bear the noise here. 10. To complement, להוסיף, להשלים. For example, she complimented her elegant evening gown with matching sandals. להבדיל מ compliment. For example, he complimented her on the elegant evening gown. 11. To leave, לעזוב, ללכת, לצאת. For example, you will have to leave home early if you want to catch the first train. להבדיל מ to live, לחיות, לגור. For example, I live in Tel Aviv. For example, I live in Tel Aviv. 12. To lose, להפסיד. For example, I hate to lose. להבדיל מ loose, שזה adjective, מילה מתארת. I like wearing loose pants. 13. The principal זה המנהל. For example, Mr. Cohen is the principal of our school. להבדיל מ principle, שזה עיקרון. For example, although we don't agree on the details, I think we can at least agree on the principles. 14. Site, אתר. For example, there are many dangerous websites. להבדיל מ site, מראה או ראייה. For example, my sight isn't as good as it used to be. B. Another very confusing thing is the possessive S, השייכות. This is Danny's bag. This is the bag of Danny. When we want to state a possession, we put S after the name of the person or the thing that it belongs to. זאת S השייכות ששמים אותה אחרי מי שזה שייך לו. It's simple when the owner is a name or a single noun, but when the owner comes in the plural form or ends with an S or a Z, then you drop the S and only the apostrophe remains. רק הפסיק למעלה נשאר. For example, the oranges basket. הסל של התפוזים. The Cohen's garden. גן של הכהנים, משפחת כהן. This is not to be confused with the plural S that comes at the end of nouns in plural. Oranges, books, girls, etc. C. Subject-verb agreement. You know that the verb has to match the subject. For example, the children are hungry. But sometimes it's not so easy to tell. For example, where the list of items I gave you? Is it is or are?
Well, items are many things, plural, so are.
This is the difficulty. Items are plural, but the list is the subject of the sentence. So the verb has to match the list, which is singular.
Where is the list of items I gave you?
Exactly. Group nouns such as police, army, family are usually referred to as single, except for in certain cases of British English. For example, my family likes to go to Eilat in the summer. The police is investigating the crime. Other confusing words: no one, nobody, anyone, anybody, anything, nothing. All these words are single. For example, no one is listening to you. There, nobody there. Was or were?
Was. There was nobody there.
Anyone seen Yossi?
Has. Has anyone seen Yossi?
Very good. And now we come to a very confusing subject, the double negative. English is like math. Double negative become positive. שלילה כפולה הופכת לחיובי. This is a very tricky point, since so many native speakers make this mistake. Are you familiar with the Pink Floyd song, We Don't Need No Education?
Yes, why?
It's wrong. It's a mistake. It should be, we don't need any education. Any is the neutral word. So, if you already have a negative in the sentence or you're asking a question, you use an expression with any. For example, has anyone ever told you how beautiful you are? Or, I haven't left anything behind. It's exactly the same as I haven't left any of my things behind, or I left nothing behind. Tell me, what is the right sentence? Nobody didn't come to my party, or nobody came to my party.
Nobody came to my party.
That's right. The first sentence means that a person called nobody did not come to my party, but everybody else probably did. Only the second sentence means אף אחד לא בא למסיבה שלי. Notice that the Hebrew does not mind double negatives. In fact, using a double negative just emphasizes the negativity. However, in English, it's exactly the opposite. The double negative means, in fact, a positive. For example, it's not that I don't like you, actually means I like you, but... Or another example, she was not unaware of the impression she had left. What does it mean? Was she aware of or not?
She was. It's a double negative.
Excellent! How about this sentence? I don't regret not leaving him when he told me he cheated on me. Does she regret not leaving him or doesn't she? I'll give you 20 seconds of C-View to think about it. Well,
I think she doesn't regret.
exactly. Do you know Tom Jones, the singer? He had a hit called It's Not Unusual. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. Well, what does he mean? Is it unusual or not?
It's not.
That's right. And that concludes our lesson today. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you in the next lesson.